Hey everyone, happy Tuesday afternoon. Mitchell back here on my sports talk YouTube channel. Just gonna turn on my fan here. Yep, that's better, but we are another day closer to Selection Sunday. We are only 5 days away. Wow, where did that time go? But ACC tournament and Big 12 tournament actually begins tonight, so a lot of good action coming there. But this is my very last edition of the CBS Sports bracket through Jerry Palm, because he keeps updating them regularly, and he's doing a very good job, because the teams that weren't in the tournament now are in the tournament, and he just explains it so well. So I thank you guys again for so much for a second time, for those of you who tuned into his bubble watch on the new bubble teams and who was out as well. So yep, I would highly encourage you to check that out if you didn't yet. So yep, without any further ado, it will be my last time, and then Selection Sunday I will be doing 3 brackets that night. Hear this right, 3 brackets, and then the third one will be a coin flip. And then the 4th video will be a full simulation on the entire tournament. I have NCAA Basketball 09 for the PlayStation 3. I play it all the time. I'm gearing up for the tournament playing that. I almost made the Final Four at Michigan and just fell short in the Elite 8 barely. And the Final Four was in Detroit in 2009. So, yep, that's good. That's really fun to hype up for the March Madness, playing one of my favorite video games of all time. So, yep, here we are. My Shamrock Shake's almost gone, so I'm hyped up for today. Got the University of Kansas versus NC Central and Robert Morris. And Robert Morris did beat Kentucky years ago, but they will not do that this time. Kansas will absolutely beat them for sure. I think that will be definitely a blowout. St. Mary's in Arizona, as good as I think Arizona is. I mean, they were 7 or 6 seed a few weeks ago, and now they had to just drop just like that. And St. Mary's is playing for the conference championship game against Gonzaga tonight. That's going to be a very good game to maybe tune into tonight if I remember a ton. So, yep, they could improve their seeding to a 7 or 6 if they win that one, and they're obviously automatically in because they have won a lot of big games, and they are fully deserving of the end. I got Wisconsin beating a very tough East Tennessee State squad that can really make noise in the tournament. And I got John Calipari and Kentucky pulling out against Vermont. And I don't think Vermont will get it this year. Sorry for you guys that are thinking Vermont or Vermont fans, etc., but not going to happen. Kentucky will get it. And then for the Final Four rematch for 2015 and 2014, I don't think Wisconsin will have enough to pull out Kentucky, just because of how tough they are in the tournament. They are a total different team compared to the regular season when they make the tournament. And everybody knows it compared to the Aaron Harrison years, just in general. They've won a couple national championships lately, so I will take them to go there just because of the premier experience. And Wisconsin's a couple players away from being legit America's top 10 team. So, yeah, I will take that. So I will take them there. Got Illinois and Wichita State. This is going to be a very good matchup. I think Illinois, with one of the best point guards in the Big Ten, they will get that one done. And then Duke will beat number 14, Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas has been in the field for a long time, but I believe they actually got in, so I believe they are not automatically able to do it. And Utah State, I think, will beat my Michigan Wolverines because of how inconsistent we've been lately. It's just been really hard to watch, so I almost don't really care if they lose the first game, just because it kind of has been an inconsistent season. But Juwan Howard's really been doing a lot, so I give him a lot of credit, and we'll see what they can do in the Big Ten tournament. If they can win a few games, I'm probably going to pick them to win at least the first round. We got to see what they do in that tournament first to see before I pick them in the real bracket. So we'll take Utah there, and then Creighton, I think, will beat Belmont. I think they also won their conference tournament, so Belmont is also in. So then I'll take Utah State with one of their best players on the team. I think he's just gonna really light it up there, and I think they will make the Sweet 16, and they will. I was high on Utah State the other day, but I truly think they will have enough to beat Frank McDermott and Creighton as good as it. And that will be a very good game. It could be a half-court shot. Look at Northern Iowa against Texas. I think it's one of those type of games that could happen. And then, by the way, Texas is out of the tournament field, so they got to win at least 2 or 3 games to make the NCAA tournament, and that's in the Big 12. I'm talking. So, yeah, back to this. We got Duke beating Illinois as well because of their premier talent. RJ Barrett's back. Just that just that crew overall. I think they're going to go to Elite Eight, and I think they will also beat number 1 overall seed Kansas. And Uzabake and them, I think, will very much struggle with Duke because they have had a couple returning players this year. So I think Duke will make the Final Four after losing to Michigan State on a Cassius Winston game-winning shot last year. I think they will pull out revenge. They will be the very good Kansas team that they have played many times in the Champions Classic. And then Baylor will play Winthrop, and Baylor will get that one. And I think Marquette will pull it out with Marcus Howard against Arizona State. I'm hoping anyway, because there's my second favorite team. And I'm hoping he can make a little noise in the Big East tournament to maybe see if they can move up to an 8 or 7 seed, but probably no more than 8 because they have lost some really rough games lately. We got Ohio State and Yale. I think Yale's gonna be another Cinderella watch, but I think Ohio State will pull that one out, obviously, because of the way they're playing. Butler and Bradley. I don't think Butler's deserving of a 4 seed. I think in the Big East tournament we'll really see what they can do, but I think Bradley will get that one. So we have a big upset coming. We have Bradley beating them, and then Ohio State will end up beating Bradley to advance to the Sweet 16 for the first time in quite a while. And then Virginia will beat Stanford, reigning national champion under Tony Bennett. And then Maryland also will beat UC Irvine. And after how well they played against my Michigan Wolverines Sunday, I think they will eliminate Virginia because they only have Diakite and a couple others that are back from the national championship game, but they will not have enough to make the Sweet 16, not quite. So Virginia fans, enjoy your ride to the tournament because it may end earlier than you think. So we'll really have to see what happens there. I'm excited for this tournament. So Providence and LSU, I think Providence will get that one in a very good 7 versus 10 matchup because Providence was out of the tournament for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. But that 7 seed obviously means that you're going to be automatically in. I mean, they're from the first 4 out, the first 4 in. Now they actually have a bye. They actually have a decent seed where they could actually win a game. So yep, I think they will get that one there. And LSU without Tremont Waters, I don't think can really pass the test with how good Providence looks right now and the streak they're on. We'll take Florida State against North Dakota State. I don't think they'll get a number 1 seed, but if they win the entire ACC tournament, I think you gotta mark it down that they're easily gonna be the 1 seed because they're a conference champion. I mean, that's a big deal if they can beat Duke and the Dukes and all them, the Virginias and that. In that type of conference play. I mean, Wake Forest, they beat Duke. How could they really escape through this really tough neutral site ACC tournament? We'll really see what happens there. And then Maryland will lose to Florida State. I want Maryland to win. I want our conference, the Big Ten, to do well. But I don't think Florida State will lose that one. And I think Baylor will end Ohio State's run. You don't want to call it Cinderella run because they are a 5th seed. But Baylor will end that, and then they will also beat Florida State in a really good 1 versus 2 matchup because of how good they looked. I mean, they are just legitimately really fun to watch after watching the 2 games when they played Kansas. So I have them in the Final Four, and then you'll see the ending result and what I have them at. Dayton will play Northern Kentucky, and they will beat them. Colorado will play Florida, and Florida will definitely lose to them, but Colorado's kind of been inconsistent, so keep an eye if Florida wins that one. I think if Florida wins that one, they can really give Obi Topping and Dayton the game, so that's just a mock bracket, obviously, and that's what I think right now at the moment, so. And then Akron will be Auburn. They have clinched their MAC conference title. And then Louisville will beat Liberty. I think Louisville's just going to be a different team in the tournament. They've struggled recently, but I think they will beat them. And then Dayton will also move on to the Sweet 16 with Obi Topping and the Elite 8. So we will go down here now for West Virginia and Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati, for being a bubble team, 11 seed, I don't think they'll be a good enough 11 seed to move on. So we will take Virginia there, and then MSU is initials for Michigan State. We will take Michigan State to beat the North Texas Mean Green. We will take USC to beat Indiana in a very good 7 versus 10 matchup. They nearly beat Wisconsin, but blew an 8-9 point lead on Saturday against the Badgers. So I don't think they're really tournament ready unless they win a few in the conference tournament coming up. Villanova will beat Colgate. I thought of picking Colgate there, but I don't really trust the 15 seeds till I really learn about them for come next week. Got Michigan State and Villanova. I think Cassius Winston and their squad's going to end up doing it. They have a great senior class. They have 3 seniors. They really, I think, will know how to defend Villanova and one time, like when the Badgers pull out Villanova, I think it will happen again. It won't be an upset because it's 3 versus 2. It's going to be a very good game. But I think Michigan State will pull it out. And I also have them beating Dayton because, I mean, Dayton only has one player, and they're not in the best conference in the world. So I see Michigan State repeating as Elite Eight champions from the East, and they were not in the East region. I think they were in the Midwest region. And I think that game was in Indianapolis. Your Midwest... So your East Regional champions will be your Michigan State Spartans, and they were close to winning in New York until Florida beat them. So they will get the revenge this time, and they will win in New York to go to the NCAA Final Four. And Gonzaga will beat the winner of Prairie View A&M and Gonzaga and Siena. Oklahoma will beat Houston, and I think Gonzaga will get upset by Oklahoma, depending on how they do in the Big 12 tournament. I think they're gonna have their seed improved by winning a few games there. Penn State will beat a very tough Stephen F. Austin team that's going to be ready for play. And I think Peyton Pritchard and Oregon are really struggling enough where I think New Mexico State, they even stormed the court the other day after making the tournament. That is how fun college basketball is. There is no better time of year that. And I think with them having momentum against Oregon, I think they will also against Penn State, and they will move on to the Sweet 16. So they will be the furthest double-digit team to make the Sweet 16. And then Oklahoma will end their run eventually. But then Oklahoma's run eventually will end, as you guys see. I have BYU losing to UCLA because of their inconsistency. They're eliminated from their conference tournament. I just don't think they're going to have enough to beat them. And Miles Powell and Seton Hall will eliminate UCLA then after their very, very big upset win that might come up. Iowa will beat Xavier. San Diego State will beat Eastern Washington. And then Iowa with Luka Garza and squad, they're not going to have enough, just like Tennessee last year, to make the advance to the Sweet 16 this year. So they will not have enough to do it, just like they didn't last year. And San Diego State will move on. And then Seton Hall with Miles Powell, I think, will move on to Elite Eight. And then they will definitely beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma's run is eventually got to end sometime, especially as a 9th seed. So for this bracket, I gotta have Seton Hall because they're a great team and they are going to be going to the Final Four. So that leads us a matchup of Michigan State and Seton Hall. I think just Seton Hall. I mean, Miles Powell, I'm really a big believer in the Big East and what they can do. So I think they will make the national championship as much as I want Michigan State to make it. I think they will make it, and then Baylor will also make it, and they will beat Florida State because eventually Florida State's going to run out of gas, and Baylor, just with their talent and athleticism, will make the NCAA finals. I don't think a 3 seed will win the whole thing. So Baylor, your second overall seed from the South, will be your national champions for my very last mock bracketology. So hope you guys enjoyed these last 3-4 weeks where I just kept knocking it out of the park with this, and it's really fun just to get hyped up for the tournament by doing it. So Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and stay tuned for more conference tournament predictions and more on my MI Sports Talk YouTube channel.